What's going on? We back, Motor City Sports Talk. We in the building. It's your boy CJ Goodfella. Before we get into it, we doing a live show today, so be prepared for that. Don't even know exactly the time. I was gonna try to do it around right now, but I got some business to take care of. So, as soon as I put the I plug it in, I put the notification invite up, you guys will see what time we're gonna start it up. So, be on the lookout for that in your subscriber feed as well. But, back to the topic of discussion. Would the Detroit Lions pull the plug on Jim Bob Cooter if the Lions offense struggles towards the middle of the season? Let's say the first 8 games they struggle, where they pull the plug on Jim Bob Cooter. That's a tough question, man. If they get this run game coordinator, this offensive line, and everything else, and the Lions are still not consistently picking up third downs, Jim Bob Cooter play calling is mad suspect, which it has been. But let's start off there about the play calling. Some people believe that Jim Caldwell kind of held him back from really being aggressive the way he wants to, and I think it's some credence to that, because I remember Jim Caldwell talked about when he interviewed for the job, making Matthew Stafford more of a game manager, and taking away the turnovers by taking away his attempts downfield and his gunslinger mentality. So that could have had something to do with it. So, this year is gonna prove if Jim Bob Cooter, the trill or not, man. Trill is a southern word mixed between truth and real. All right, for people who don't know. And yeah, man, I think it's some credence to that, man. I'm gonna give Jim Bob Cooter the benefit of the doubt, man. I think Jim Caldwell was holding back. I believe that's why Jim Caldwell didn't want to take over the offensive coordinator responsibilities. And, Jim Bob, Joe Lombardi just sucked. Jim Bob Cooter had some success at first. But, him not figuring out how to run the ball and all that, they got him some support with the run game coordinator, new offensive line coach, a few new offensive linemen. You got Ragnow and Terrell Crosby as well as the guy from San Diego, Los Angeles Chargers now. Wiggins to kind of back up, the interior lineman. But if he struggles and they give him all this support, and they have somebody in the wings, that's the thing about it, man. Is the quarterback coach good enough for them or another offensive assistant good enough for them to come in and call the plays for the rest of the season is the question. See, I'm not familiar with who the quarterback coach is and all other offensive coach staff is, offensive coaching staff is. So that remains to be seen. I can see if the defensive coordinator struggled and defense was just terrible, and I can see Matt Patricia taking over defensive play calling, in that situation. So I think they're going to let Jim Bob Cooter ride it out this year. I think they're going to give him every chance. I think his close relationship to Matthew Stafford will be the integral key why he would finish the season if it was truly a bad season for the Detroit Lions. Because let's look here, man. The Lions invested again into the offensive lineman in the draft with Ragnow, getting rid of Travis Swanson, getting rid of Greg Robinson, a healthy Taylor Decker. So it shouldn't be no excuses amongst the front. And also Terrell Crosby, if Rick Wagner struggles again, he can come in and give you some good time in as well. You know what I'm saying? So they got rid of the weak links. Well, most of the weak links on the offensive line, and hopefully they're healthy, will be another weak link, all right? Also, they invested into the run game with a bruiser, LeGarrette Blount. They went to the draft and invested. Also, they kept their two top running backs from last year in Amir Abdullah. And also, they kept Theo Reddick as well. So, you know what I'm saying? They got one of the better receiver core in the league. Somebody in the comment section was like, hey, you know what, man? The Lions got all slot receivers. I see some of the football people just don't know what they're talking about. Marvin Jones is 6'2", 6'3". That boy ain't no slot receiver. And Kenny Galladay is 6'4". He ain't no slot receiver. Golden Tate is a slot receiver that can play on the outside. T.J. Jones is a slot receiver that can play on the outside. But, come on, man. Like I said, it's just, ignorance. You know what I'm saying? Ignorance amongst the comment section a lot of the time. Well, some of the time, not a lot. That's my other page. But, hey, I think Jim Bob Cooter is going to finish the season unless it's just a horrible, horrible start to the season. You know what? I'm going to start on the side of optimistic. I know it's optimism is a disease going around the NFL. In the off-season coming to training camp, everybody believe it's their chance to make a Super Bowl run, even if they was 0-16, 1-15, 2-14, 8-8 the previous season, didn't do that many improvements. Everybody believes they have a shot. Every fan base believes they have a shot. So, please pardon me if I catch some the optimistic disease, but I think Jim Bob Cooter was held back by Jim Caldwell. I think they're gonna have a better run system. You know what I'm saying? Because last year he did a lot of misdirection, a lot of outside runs. He was scared to run into the interior with the smaller backs, and I guess the lack of blocking or blocking schemes in the interior. So we're going to see, what they got. But I think he got enough support, and I think he's going to be able to open up the playbook a little bit more once you see more 8, 9-man boxes if they're able to run the ball, and he can take more shots down the field with Stafford. But the entire league seems to love Jim Bob Cooter. He was offered the Tennessee volunteer job. His old his old college, I'm sorry, a little occupied right now, but he's offered that job, turned it down. A lot of teams in NFL and collegiate teams like Jim Bob Cooter, and I'm just gonna say he delivers this year. I think he's gonna be efficient. I think they're gonna help him with running the ball. I think the offensive line gonna be better. It's a lot of things that Jim Bob Cooter had to deal with under Martin Mayhew, with lack of personnel, lack of a good offensive lineman, lack of drafting the right people. I mean, lack of personnel. And I think this year might be his best personnel with 9 behind center, with good 5 in front of him. Like 3 or 4 good receivers. Tight end is still like a mystery, but I think Luke Wilson is pretty good. And LeGarrette Blount and Kerryon Johnson, Amir Abdul-Theoretic. And I think if he can't get it done, or the coaching staff can't get it done with this squad, it's just going to be terrible. But I still think he makes it through the end of the season. Smart City Sports Talk. Don't forget, we got a live show coming. It's going to be everything, a training camp preview. We're going to talk about all the position battles. Everything we've been talking about is going to be one big cumulative show. Talk about everything Lions leading up to the full training camp coming Thursday. The rookies are already there. Talking about the coaching staff and everything, Q&A. Yeah, it's going to be a really, really good show. So be on the lookout for that later on this afternoon. Much blessings to everybody. Don't forget, we're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. All that stuff is in the description. Y'all know what it is. Mercy Sports Talk. We gone.